In energetic NLP, unlike some energy systems, we're not just trying to move energies around. Because sometimes when people give you an energy healing of some kind, what they do is they pull energies out of your space, but they don't do anything about what the underlying issue was. So let's say you get a lot of headaches. It's the difference between somebody giving you an aspirin versus finding out what's causing the headaches. And a lot of energy work, and it makes you feel better, but afterwards, it's sort of like the old joke, a half hour later you're hungry again. A couple of days later, your energy's back the way it was. So we're always looking at what does the energy hook into. The model we're using is you are the king or queen of your energy space. If somebody's energy's in your space, it's hooked into some part of you. They can't force it to stay there. They can put energy in space, but it will go away. If it's there, it's because you're holding on to it and going, get out. But meanwhile, you're pulling it back in. So the good news in that is if you start clearing what it hooked into, then you get tremendous changes in your life. So instead of it becoming a problem, it's now a good thing. Now we're going to use this idea again that you can use symbols and metaphors. So again, your unconscious mind likes symbols and metaphors. And there's a concept in energy work that symbol and reality are the same thing. If you decide something's a symbol for something, it is. It's really that simple. If you go, this is a symbol for my energy, it takes that form. You give it that form. I don't mean necessarily that it looks like it, but it actually, if you then work with the symbol, your energy will shift. And we'll be looking at that a lot more. So what we're going to do is start looking for things that block us from opening up our abilities and our intuition. So get comfortable. And you're welcome to use any symbol that you want. What I'd like you to play with right now is using the symbol of a wooden block. Did you all play with blocks when you were a kid, or you've seen other kids do it? Because wooden blocks, because they're blocks. It's like not very subtle, right? So we're just going to imagine blocks. So get comfortable and ask your inner wisdom and spirit to be in charge. And ask your inner wisdom and spirit to start putting out in front of you little wooden blocks that represent beliefs and programming in your space that limit your intuition, limit your knowingness, or limit your ability to transform energy, or limit your ability to connect with your own spirit and wisdom. And just a little block start. You don't need to know what they are. Let them show up. And you can see them. You can just pretend that they're there. You can kind of feel that they're there. You can hear that they're there. And raise your hand if you have some blocks showing up, or if you get a sense that they're there. Now,
do you consciously know what they are?
no, I prefer you didn't.
Okay, so they can just appear, but you may not.
Yep, just let them appear. Again, because your own inner wisdom, your own spirit knows what they are in a way that your conscious mind won't. Now, if you feel blocked in doing this, ask your wisdom and spirit to put out whatever blocking you from doing this. So little blocks that represent what's blocking you from putting your blocks out. And if you still feel a little blocked, ask your wisdom and spirit to put out anything that's blocking you from releasing what's blocking you from releasing what's blocking you. So anything that's blocking you from releasing what's blocking you from releasing what's blocking you. Excellent. Now we've been making symbols. The next step is to dissolve them. And again, your inner self understands that when you dissolve something, you mean it's going away. Now, what does it mean to dissolve an energy block? Energy can't be created or destroyed, as physics tells us, and we're not trying to destroy it. But energy gets structured and it gets information in it. When you dissolve the block, what you're doing is turning it back to pure energy. You're taking the programming out of it, the information out of it, and it just becomes energy. It's a lot like when you remove files and stuff from your computer. You're not losing chunks of your computer, but you're taking out bits of information so you can use it differently. So when you dissolve a block, you're not destroying anything, you're just taking the structure out of it. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if that kind of makes sense. Okay. Now, so let's experiment with different ways to dissolve the blocks. And again, your inner self knows dissolving them means you take out the structure. So one way to dissolve them is to imagine a fire. Now, fire is, as far as I know, a universal symbol of transformation. Almost all religions and spiritual groups have ceremonies with fires or candles in it. We have legends like the phoenix bird that every 1,000 years it burns itself up and is reborn. We know in nature things burn so new things can grow. So it's very much wired into the collective consciousness. So imagine a beautiful fire. I like to think of mine as a sacred fire, however you want yours to be. And just take a few blocks and throw them in there and burn them up. So that's one way to dissolve a symbol, is to burn it up. Now, just let your fire disappear, and this time see a beautiful lake. And imagine that the water in the lake is transformative energy. And again, if you like it, you can think of it as a magical lake or a sacred lake. And then throw some blocks into the lake and let them just dissolve. Okay, so that's a second way to dissolve symbols. So we have fire, we have water. There's a limitless number, but I'll take you through a few more. You can imagine a recycle bin like the one on your computer. So throw a few blocks into a recycle bin. And imagine you have a delete button, and when you delete it, you hear the little and the energy, again, gets just turned back into pure energy, and the structure comes out of it. Okay. And let's try another way. Some of you will like this, some of you won't. Put some blocks out there and imagine you can blow them up. And just, I usually nuke them, but you can imagine just blowing them up and see what that's like, to just, boom, destroy them. Now, you may or may not notice, a lot of you are putting a lot of effort into that one. Put a few blocks out, and this time let them blow up, but no effort on your part. You're not the one blowing them up. Just let them be blown up. No effort, no force. Okay, great. And just to show you can have some fun with it, this time you can use like one of those like leaf mulchers that people use in their gardens that chop up the leaves, or a garbage disposal. Just think of something different and throw them in there and let them just get chopped up. Okay, let's try a couple more ways. Put some wooden blocks out there and let a whole flock of woodpeckers come and just pick them apart. Cute little woodpeckers, you know. Now, you never want to just release energy. In the words of Aristotle, nature abhors a vacuum. So you always want to replace energy. So go ahead, and if you still have some more blocks, go ahead and pick any of those methods, or if you want to try something different, just go ahead and dissolve a few more blocks. Okay, and then over your head, I don't know if any of you have ever seen one, but there is such a thing as a circular rainbow. Looks just like a rainbow, but instead of an arc, it's the whole thing. And imagine a circular rainbow high above your head, and imagine it contains all colors and energies, even the ones you can't see with your eyes. And then let your wisdom and spirit pull energy down from that circular rainbow and up from the earth, and let it fill any space that's been created in your energy field. Okay, stretch and move a little bit, stomp your feet, pat your body.